My name is Adeboye, and I'm really pleased to be here. I didn't know what to expect. It's my first time here, but I know Tokumbo. I've known him for quite a while, and I didn't know what to expect, except that it was going to be young, vibrant, so it's a good thing I dressed up in jeans, or else I would have been looking like the old man that I'm supposed to be. Anyway, I'll tell you a little story. There's only one slide. So when I ask you, you'll flip it for me. Yeah? Thanks. Okay, I'll just tell you a story. I'm supposed to talk about starting a tech company in Nigeria, you know? And I'll tell you a story. I was part of the young group of people that started Econet Wireless Nigeria. Who knows Econet? The telephone company. Yeah? Before GSM, before the advent of GSM, all of you are sufficiently young enough to know that we all had Nitel phones. Who knows how many Nitel phones were in Nigeria before GSM started? What do you mean less than a million? It was 450,000. Imagine that. 450,000. Do you know some companies had Nitel staff on their payroll? Because you have to have staff on your payroll because the phones are constantly going off. So you have to have somebody in the switch, engineering, and all kinds just to keep your phones working. And then if you had a fax line, there wasn't really email at the time. You used to send faxes. Who knows what a fax machine is? I have. Have you heard that sound? When you wait that's how you send the fax. And then we started Econet. But if you ask me, how did we start Econet? For me, somebody was talking about luck. I don't believe in luck, but I do believe in the hand of providence. I went to a wedding party. That's why I got involved. I was invited to a wedding in Ibadan. I was working in a consulting company called Afrocentric at the time, and a friend of mine, his cousin was getting married, and we were invited to Ibadan. Then he said to me, "Where are you going to stay?" I said, "I'm going to stay at Premier Hotel. That's the hotel on the hill in Ibadan." He says, "No, there's this man that's giving me a guest house. Let's share it together. It's a 3-bedroom guest house. At the time I had a wife and just one child. He had a wife, and I think he had twins or so. So he said, it's 3 rooms. You take one, I take one." I said, "Good for me. I don't have to spend my money." So we went to the wedding. After the wedding, on the Sunday morning, I said to him, "Balaji, this man that gave us guest house to use, let's go and say thank you." And that's how he said, "Okay, let's go." I met this man called Oba Otudeko. I'm sure you heard the name. He's the chairman of the First Bank Group. And while we were sitting in his house, he said, "Balaji, what do you think? This GSM of the thing, speaking Yoruba, it looks like it's a lot of trouble, but they've been offering it to me. What do you think?" So my friend launched into a long winding tirade about how it's the next best thing after oil. And once in a while, I chipped in a little. And then when it was time to head back to Lagos, he was seeing us to the door, and then he said, "Balaji, I'm working with some young men to look at this GSM thing. Why don't you come and join us? And then bring this your friend. I like him. He's with me." So that's how I started attending meetings. And then one day they said, "Oh, we're going to meet our technical partner." And then a guy called Strive Masiwa, which you probably heard of as one of Africa's billionaires. That's how we partnered with him and started GSM. Before GSM started, I remember the Christmas of 2000. My wife bought me a mobile phone as my Christmas present. It was 125,000 naira. And guess what? During the day, you will not get a dial tone. Between the hours of 9 and about 4 or 5 p.m., you'll be waiting for a dial tone. So when GSM started, it was equally expensive. But now, everybody has one. Every dog and his uncle owns a mobile phone. My driver has 2. It's that cheap. Do you understand? That's I tell you the story first to tell you that any one of you can be part of the next big thing. You don't have to know anybody. Okay? It's about being in the right place at the right time. And guess what? It's not luck. It's God that controls the right place and the right time. Yes, I'm a Christian, right? But you don't have, well, I know that some people are not Christians here, but I'm telling you that God controls time and chance. So don't imagine that somebody living in Korea somewhere is going to be the next big thing. It can be any one of us. I came to Lagos in 1989, all I had was a suitcase, right? I was working, I got a job in African Petroleum, and I remember at the end of the day, I would get on the bus from Broad Street to Ojuelegba, from Ojuelegba to Anthony Isale. Then I climbed the bridge, cross the street to Anthony Oki, and take the bus from Anthony Oki to Bagada Deeper Life. And then from Bagada Deeper Life, I take a bus to Yetunde Brown, that's if I from Bagada. And my bus stop was the last bus stop. So I paid my dues. You don't look at me like one guy that came out from the woodwork. I was squatting, you know. I remember after about 18 months, my auntie's husband, where I stayed, the guy said, "You're working now, you're a man, you need to move out of my house." Of course, panic hit me. When they found me house in school area, guess what? I could not afford to pay the rent. I told my father that, your son needs to get a household. He said, he's a man now. Shebi is working. Let him go and sort himself out. It was my mother. God bless mother. Yeah. I don't know what she sold, but she came to Lagos. She paid my rent the first 3 years. And then she went to Alaba. She bought me a bed. She bought me easy cooker and total gas, the orange one. Yeah? Plate set. I remember that house had a sitting room. For 6 months, I didn't enter the place because there was nothing inside the place. Just that. So when you look at me today, and by the grace of God, and whatever you call me, but I came here with absolutely nothing. So if you have nothing, you have all you need. That's what I'm here to tell you. If you don't have anything, you are not disadvantaged at all. By reason of being in that group of people, by the time they started the company, guess what? Every one of us in that group were each given 50 million naira worth of shares. That's before the company started anything, just because we were part of that initial group. So all the big names you are hearing, Boye Olusoya, who was chief executive of Nine Mobile, recently, he was part of that group. Tunde Odukale, Leadway, was part of that group. Bolaji Balogun, he was part of that group. Do you understand? And then little me, from nowhere. Why? Because I attended the wedding, and I thought it was nice to also go and say, thank you. So learn to appreciate. Don't, you don't have to form. Just be you. Okay, so that's my story. Okay? There's no big deal. I studied engineering at the first degree. I worked as an engineer for 1 year. And then I looked at my boss. I said, this guy does not inspire me. I don't want to be like this guy in 5 years. He looked wretched. Very brilliant guy. Worked very hard. But I just didn't want to look like him in 5 years. So I left that and I went to join a company called Afrocentric. And I saw these smart looking guys. Those days, it wasn't cool to be in t-shirts. It's wear ties and everything. I didn't know what the hell they were doing. But I said, man, these guys look sharp. They look like they're going somewhere. Whatever it is they're doing, I want to do it with them. When I got there, they said, hey, that engineering degree, put it in the locker. And I had to start attending classes just around the corner from here, Mayo. I studied to become a chartered accountant. So 3.5 years, I lost all my friends. They stopped inviting me to parties, to hang out. Fortunately, I still had girlfriends. Okay, so what I'm saying is that if you're looking at yourself and you're saying, I don't have anything, if your brain is working, you have more than enough. Yeah? You have more than enough. If you have people that you can call your friends, you have more than enough. You just never know where your break is going to come from. Now, talking about a tech startup, it's all about service. Now, let's go to the second, my slide. Who's helping me with the slide? Yes. Tomfoolery on steroids. The thing about tech is that it's like a magnifying glass. You know, in a magnifying glass, everything is bigger. So if you mess up, tech will help you spread the mess up very well. Yeah? But if you do well, right, tech will also give you a good platform. Tech is just a tool, but it's a tool on steroids. Whatever you do, right, it'll give you an audience. I mean, imagine going on the internet today. The idiot that went to kill some people in New Zealand, he put it on Facebook, and guess what? Hundreds of millions of people were watching it instantly. You know, when he put on the go cams and he started, he himself did not know whether he was going to succeed. Somebody could have taken him down up front. Do you understand? So that's why I said tomfoolery on steroids. Because even though he accomplished his mission was a very foolish one. He's going to be remembered as the guy who killed 50 people that he did not know for nothing. Yeah? And that's what tech is all about. And you need to keep that in the back of your mind. Okay? I'm just giving you a checklist of things to keep in mind as you start thinking tech. The fact is that it's a magnifying glass. It has a big audience, right? So you can mess up big time, or you can do well big time. And you have to keep that in the back of your mind. You're like the guy on the walking a tightrope. The whole world is watching, but they will either watch you fail, and kill yourself, or they will watch you make waves, and then you become the next best thing. The second thing I'd like to focus on is dream big. The beauty of being young is that you have time. You know, as you get older, yes, they are now more aware of your biological clock. There's not only women that have biological clock. Everybody has a biological clock, right? I'm sure you all have parents, right? They are always watching time. You know, when you get older, your clock is already winding down. But because you're young, you can dream big. You can afford to make mistakes. Making mistakes is actually a good thing. Thomas Edison said he failed almost 1,000 times before he finally got the light bulb to work. And then they asked him, what do you think about failing 1,000 times? He says, no, I learned 1,000 ways not to do it. So when you're young, as you all are, your biggest advantage is that you can dream big. You see, if you see children playing, they're not aware of all the dangers. It's when you get older, you start worrying, if you do this, what if they take light? If you do this, what if the money finishes? Do you understand? You are limited by all the risks. First of all, start off, dream big. Yeah? Big, bold, hairy, audacious dreams. Don't let anybody limit your dreams. Don't think about serving your community, serving your world. Do you understand? It's people's dreams that somebody takes and then catapults them. You know, a lot of people have done very well. They were not the originators of the dream. I was reading the story of Leif recently, and the guy was visiting Zimbabwe and saw how people would stand on the road, they would fly, instead of waving a car for a lift, they would wave money. And so it was ride sharing. It was that concept that they went back to LA with, and it developed it into a concept of a ride sharing app. So, dream big. Now, in Nigeria is not we don't have a service culture. Do you know that? We're not really a service-oriented society. And the reason is that because there's just so many mouths to feed, demand is always greater than supply. So the supplier can treat you anyhow. Because you don't have a choice. Yeah? But if you want to go into tech, see, the beauty of tech is that it lowers the threshold for entry and exit. If you start doing something today, I can guarantee you, within a week, somebody else will either copy it, do it better. Do you understand? So you can't afford to be thinking, I've got the solution, everybody must come to me. If you have a service orientation, I'll give you an example. Have you noticed that a lot of internet banking in Nigeria is built to keep out the thief, not to let the owner in? Have you noticed? Internet banking in Nigeria is all about security. It's so secure that the owner of the account can't get in. And you know why? Because what happens is that it is driven by the IT professional, not by customer need. By the grace of God, I have internet banking outside this country. Okay, so I've seen how easy it can be. But when I try to use, in fact, my mother-in-law, she lives with me. She has First Bank is the worst internet banking platform I've ever seen in my life. It's so secure that the woman cannot get in. She needs help getting in, which then breaches security. Because at the end of the day, you have access to our token, you have access to our password. Not everything. So unless you change your orientation and start thinking about the person you are trying to serve, you'll be dead on arrival. Because the whole point of tech it's not a new invention, it's just a tool for delivering a service that people need. So once you identify a service that you can provide, tech can help you deliver it more effectively and more efficiently. But you have to, if you're ever going to make a success of anything in Nigeria, think service. We don't have it. Even the taxi drivers, even bus drivers don't have a service orientation. They will tell you that if you don't have change, don't even enter. Do you understand? That's not service orientation. Service orientation is anyhow, even if you have 1,000 naira, I have change. Because if you are trying to provide a transportation service, then change must not be a limiting factor. So you have to change your orientation, the way you think about what you're trying to do. A lot of you, as you get along and you get trained and you're able to develop apps and be part of something big, you actually start thinking there's something. But you know that being rich is actually a certification that you have served many people. In Nigeria, being rich means you've stolen money. Yeah? Often it means you've stolen money. Or you know somebody somewhere and who has guaranteed that you can keep tapping from there. So it's called government rent. Do you understand? Or you have somebody manning a checkpoint. Yeah? Or your father owns a toll gate. Do you understand? But if you think service, you become great for the number of people that you serve. Yeah? Then, the next thing is that okay, I don't need to tell you it's a jungle out there. Don't imagine that anybody is going to help you. Nigeria is the toughest place on earth to do business today. Let nobody fool you. You have to generate your own light. You have to filter your own water. You provide your own security. You have to do everything yourself. But you know the beauty is that if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere in the world. I'll tell you another story. When we started GSM, the engineers were training. That was the first time in my life I encountered a company where there are people inside the company that earn more than the managing director. The engineers were earning more. The chief engineer, the chief technical officer, had a higher salary than the CEO. And why? Because you know what? It's the same GSM equipment that we use in Nigeria, that are used in Ghana, that's used in Sweden, that are used everywhere in the world. GSM is a standard. And that's exactly how tech is. When you become a developer, right? Your ability to develop software to deliver solutions is a universal language. What you're doing here, you can do it anywhere in the world. So you might start from here, but the world is your oyster. Starting from here, knowing that it's a jungle here, if you can make it here, you'll be a superstar anywhere else you go. You don't even have to go far. When you go to Ghana, you'll be a superstar. It's a jungle, but you develop your muscles in the jungle. You develop your survival instincts in the jungle, right? You shine your eye where in the jungle. Do you understand? So don't wake up thinking, why was I born in Nigeria? God doesn't make mistakes. Yeah? But also, because there are so many problems here, it means that there are so many solutions that can be developed. Did you notice how quickly Uber started in Nigeria? Now, even Taxify. Because the barrier to entry was made so low because of what? Technology. Everybody already had a phone. So all you had to do was look for an application that you can port onto everybody's phone to do a service that everybody needs. Before Uber and Taxify, what we used to do? I live in VGC. You have to drive to the gate. Then there's a little taxi rank. There's this car hire people, all these babas with phone here. So they 5,000. They start negotiating. Uber just brought some finesse to the whole thing, where you know how much. Just that you get the plate number. The guy comes to pick you up. And that's what tech does. But because it's a jungle here, right? It's also an opportunity for you to see, the possibilities. How you can make life. You know, Nigeria can be, you guys can actually change the face of Nigeria. GSM changed the face of this country. From 450,000 phones, today we have how many? Almost 90 million phones. Almost everybody has 2 lines. And then people are making money. First it started by, people started selling recharge cards. Nobody buys recharge cards on the street anymore, even though I'm sure they're supposed to sell. But those umbrellas, it was GSM that brought them. All those people that now sell, they started selling recharge cards, then they added biscuits and all that. But you can change the landscape by just one solution that you bring to the market can change the landscape. I know I'm running out of time, but I'll try and hurry up. You have to keep asking yourself, what's different about me? What am I doing differently? This app I'm developing, is it going to bring a solution that does not exist at all? It's an innovation? Or is it going to do things differently from what's already existing? Like Uber. Uber didn't do anything new now. So everybody, we were taking taxis before. It just made getting a taxi, riding a taxi, paying for a taxi so much easier, right? And that's what you have to keep asking yourself. What is it? Because you see, it's always good to have nice ideas, but only when you think through it can you refine it and hit your target. Sorry?
Design thinking.
Design thinking. Very good. The next one is, can you keep a secret? You know, boys like to kiss and tell. The problem in tech is that if you kiss and tell, it's over before you even started. Eh? You like to sit down with the boys, you know, you guys have drinks. Hey boys, this is what I'm planning. As you finish drinking that beer, eh? If somebody bought it there for you, that's all you're ever going to make from that. Can you keep a secret? You know there are times when you're so excited about something you've picked up, you've discovered, that you feel like sharing it. You have to learn to contain that madness, control that evil spirit. That's it that wants you to open your mouth. Eh? Contain it. Contain it. Otherwise, it's over even before it started. Because the truth is that God has not endowed anybody extraordinarily. Everybody has a unique gift. That's the truth. But the truth is that once your idea leaves your mouth, there are other people that can develop it. Some people develop it better than yourself. So you have to learn to keep your eyes open, your ears open, your head down, and your mouth shut. Thank you very much. I have a whole presentation on partnering, and if I get an opportunity next time I'll talk about partnering. But you have to choose your partners very, very well. Today, MTN has 65% of the market share of the EBITDA. That's like the earnings before interest, tax, and depreciation in the GSM industry. But guess what? Econet, we actually made the first call. And for the first year, we were running neck and neck with MTN. You know the difference? We got embroiled in shareholder disputes. In fact, I was involved in some court cases between Econet and the local shareholders. It took 10 years to resolve. So while we were fighting, but MTN was just cleaning up. We were cleaning their toilet paper after them. Do you understand? So choose your partners very, very, very carefully. I remember when we first used to present business plans, we had two directors from First Bank on our board. And every time we presented business plans, the guys were like, can these numbers be real? Can these numbers be real? Because the projections were like the kind of money that they had never seen. Can these numbers be real? But you know what? Once they wrapped their minds around the numbers, fight started for who will control the money. Once they understood that this thing is a money spinner, that's how shareholders started fighting. We woke up one day, some guys had got a court order and mopo, and they were chasing people around the town with mopo. You're laughing. That thing that started like a joke like that, it were in court for 10 years. And then people started shopping around. Then Vodacom, that decided they are not interested in Nigeria before. Once they saw how Nigeria was going and MTN's share price, because Vodacom was bigger than MTN in South Africa. Now, Vodacom is small fry next to MTN. But it was because of Nigeria. So Vodacom now decided they wanted to come to Nigeria. So some shareholders said, let's get this company, let's go and sell it to Vodacom. So what? Choose your partner very carefully. As carefully as you choose a wife. That's how you should choose your partners. If you choose the wrong partners, you can have a good business idea, but it will not go anywhere. Or you won't have any share in it. Yeah? And finally, do you have stamina? Do you have stamina? See, a lot of you approach life as though it's a 100-meter dash. So you have a good idea. So and you know, the beauty of life is that there's an angel watching you, and they're saying if you are really interested, and if you stay at it long enough, they'll give you a break. So oftentimes, the break you get doesn't really have anything to do with where you started. There are a lot of spin-off ideas. Like if you look at a lot of us have mobile phones that have glass protectors, I mean. So you have the screen protector that's now glass, right? The companies that make them, they never started off making screen protectors. They're not like screen protectors. Like Corning used to make microwave dishes. They now make screen protectors, glass. Just that. So if you just keep showing up every day, you put in your best every single day, you're professional. Yeah? Create a nice oasis of sanity. Look for like-minded people who believe, who have the same values as you, and show up every day. You will get a break. Before too long. I also planned somebody will invite you to what? A wedding. That's where you get your break. I got my break from attending a wedding. It wasn't even my own wedding. Anyway, I'll stop there. I know there's a lot I could say, but I only have 20 minutes, and I'm sure I've gone past my 20 minutes. If you have questions, I'll take them. Otherwise, have a great weekend. In terms of our respect for contract, it means that you're always at risk that somebody's going to steal your idea. And so things are going to happen much more slowly for you. Yeah? So yes, you have to learn to keep your mouth shut, learn to spend more time articulating your ideas, and then deciding who you need to share. When you want to share with somebody, you're asking yourself, why am I sharing with this person? What am I expecting this person to bring to my party? Does he have the booze, the babes, the money, the car? What exactly is he bringing to my party? Yeah? For instance, now, let's say Davido is my friend, and he owes me one. You know, I can build a party out of that, and I can make money. Yeah? So, I know that Davido owes me one. So I'm going to look for a guy that knows how to spread cheese. Yeah? So you develop your concept, no matter how the concept is, you have to develop it. But you know that you're not Davido's only friend. So if you come up with the idea, somebody takes it before you. By the time it's your time, Davido says, I'm tired. I've been doing friend favors for long enough. I'm not doing it again. Yeah? Sorry, sir. Somebody here had a question?
Okay. Good evening. Thank you for coming. Actually, my colleague and I, we are trained to be entrepreneurs, not just coders, actually. So, and from your introduction, I think for the first time, you were introduced as the chairman of Kwese TV. And the more while you've been speaking, you've not even gone to that angle at all. You've been drawing inspirations and illustrations from your time at Econet. So I want to ask, because as entrepreneurs, I want to understand the regulatory fights and the whole competition, and because I know DSTV is not happy that Kwese came on board. So we'd like to learn how you were able to navigate those regulars and all that. Thank you.
In fact, that's probably one of the reasons why I'm not talking about Kwese. But I'm the chairman of Econet Media. Kwese is the brand name for our free-to-air service. I'm the partner for Econet in Nigeria, so any business that Econet does, I automatically am the point man. But the regulatory framework is pretty much the same everywhere. Whatever industry you go into, there will be a regulator. If there isn't one when you get there, one will show up. Like when we started Kwese, these guys, media licensing people, I can't remember their name now. They just showed up and said that the music you play, that we have the rights. Do you understand? And then, fortunately for us, there are two different competing, and they started fighting each other. So the courts are involved and they say they should leave us alone until they sort themselves out. But the point is that every industry has its own regulatory environment. If you say you have see, everybody is an entrepreneur, But yes, there is some that are able to take entrepreneurship to the next level. What's an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is a guy who is able to see an opportunity and can connect the dots to make money from it. An entrepreneur may not own the idea. He may not even have the money. He's just a guy. When you speak, he can see. But then, somehow, by virtue of his upbringing and exposure, he knows how to connect the dots between an idea and Tularu, making money. Yeah? Everybody can be an entrepreneur. If you have a service that people want, you can become an entrepreneur. A lot of you, depending on how you grew up, some people like, I don't want wahala. So if you don't want wahala, you'll be, at best you'll be in middle class. Yeah? You have guaranteed income and a nice pension. Yeah? And that's okay. It's called contentment. Entrepreneurs don't have contentment. They're always looking for the next best thing. Yeah? But to your question, every industry, so everything you do will fall into an industry. Yeah? And every industry has a regulator. And it is up to you to understand the framework that regulates that industry. Okay? Make sure first that your idea is legal. You know, even the line of legality is shifting. You know, prostitution is becoming legal in some places. So maybe you have to wait for your own to become legal. Yeah? Marijuana is becoming legal in America. And there are people who are positioning themselves. Do you understand? But the thing is, once you have an idea, if you call yourself an entrepreneur, you're not limited by money. Yeah? You're not limited by anything. All that limits you is your ability to connect the dots between the idea and the end product. How do I monetize it? Nothing limits you. Because you know, if you have a nice idea, the person with the money will come looking for you. Because like I said, the guys that have money, they don't have head. Any last question? Thank you.